Indeed, when we look at the life of the late Prime Minister as a Combermerian, I think he truly exemplified what Combermere was all about. Able to meet with those persons at the highest intellectual level and still be able to go to the cricket game in St. John and sit down and have a drink with the ordinary citizen. And I think this is really great. And when you reflect on his life from very early, it is clear that the late Prime Minister prepared himself for that role. It suggests, of course, that preparation was important. Yes, he had the family support, but he worked very, very hard. And more or less, you might say he rolled up his shirt sleeves at an early age, getting involved in the various debating societies there at Combemere School, moving on, joining the youth arm of the Democratic Labour Party, more or less surrounding himself, Sydney, with persons who could inspire him. And I think that if there's one thing that he leaves for our young people to recognize, it is not just a matter of sitting back and hoping that help is going to come your way, but rather to pursue your goal with enthusiasm. And I think that Combermere really sent that message to all who passed through that wonderful institution, that it doesn't matter if you're an intellectual, if you're good with your hands, if you're a craftsperson, do it to the very, very best. And I think our late Prime Minister leaves this very powerful message for all young people.
Well, I must tell you, Larry, that I am not a Combermerian, but I can see the mark, and there's a wonderful association. Congratulations to all those who've been to that Waterford institution, even before it was at Waterford, when it was on Roebuck Street, where the transport board is now, and then for that brief period when you spent over by the garrison, the St. Anne's Fort in the garrison. There is there for us, for every Barbadian, a significant contribution. And if you were a member of that school, you'd be forced almost without realizing it to live a certain tradition, because there was a brotherly behavior, a camaraderie, and that seems to have gone with them right through life. And so I believe that had a significant impact on the life of David Thompson. I believe that made an indelible mark on him, and that is why with his contribution now to Barbados, young Combermerians and young boys and girls from every other walk of life will be able to emulate him, and at least would set a standard for themselves, a high standard, because he set for himself personal goals, a high standard, and I believe he achieved quite a bit. And even though it was only in 48 years, I believe we have a life that was lived fully, and a lot of it depended on the early foundation at Combemere School.